larger than life. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Happy frickin' Thursday. Man, we got a good show today. And it's going to be centered around our BICSI experiences. And so I've got three very, very special guests, good friends of mine. We're going to have them on. So I hope everybody's well out there, staying safe, staying healthy. Today is a special day, but tomorrow is a specialer day. So today, my counterpart back in Massachusetts, Mr. Bruce Cantori Page. It's his birthday today. Happy 55 years old today. And then the specialer day is actually tomorrow. It's my birthday. And I also happen to be turning 55. So it's a great February so far. So Bruce, happy 55 to you, buddy. I appreciate all your lack of effort out there. Thank you very much. So a couple of other things. If you saw my LinkedIn show, I guess the post for the show or whatever the hell it is, 55. You know what? I think they do this on purpose. I think that they pick the worst pictures out there of me to put out there. And, the last picture, and it had me and my guest on there, and they're a bunch of pretty boys. You'll see in a minute. Very handsome gentlemen. But anyway, I look like Uncle Fester. And so, you know what, Kate, for the record, because you do screenshots, right? So let's do this, right? There's one. Grab that one. Okay. Here's another one here. Let's do here. Grab that one. All right. Here for the boss. Okay. And this is my personal favorite right here. But anyway. So there you go. No more Uncle Festers. There's no more excuse for Uncle Festers. So anyway, on to the topic. Kate gave me a lull. I made her laugh. So on to the topic. So what we did at BICSI was pretty cool, right? And it was a live BS at BICSI is what it was, and it turned out fantastic. We were very worried about the bandwidth capability of the internet. It was the best $1,200 for 3 days of internet that I think we spent in a long time. Can you believe that? If we wanted to go up to 30 meg of dedicated, it was $4,000. And so, no, anyway, it turned out well. We had a bunch of guests on there. All my partners you can see back here as far as our certification partners were there. A lot of guests we've had in the past. And I brought some of those guests. Well, Kate, if you got a second, I think we're going to actually roll a couple of clips of what we had. So in case you missed it, here's a couple of real good clips.
Thank you, Todd. So Low Voltage Nation, we really connect the younger generation that's coming up into the industry, and we want to provide them with the tools and knowledge, and we get guys like you to help them, mentor them. We got Chuck Bowser in the audience. He's a big Low Voltage Nation fan. So we're really a community that helps get people the resources, the tools, the trainings. LowVoltageNation.com is a good resource to go check it out. But yeah, I founded it doing a podcast. That was the reason that I started it, was to pull people like you in and connect. Yeah. So the podcast has just been like an amazing thing. So
it's gone beyond my wildest dreams, as far as what we're able to do during these weird, goofy ass times. Goofy ass times. Yeah. So I know legal's watching. They always are. HR's always watching.
Where is HR?
Oh, they're out there somewhere. They're watching out there somewhere. So listen, Blake, I've got a full docket.
We got a bunch of people
I know
here.
this is awesome. Bunch of friends.
Cool,
thank you very much.
So
all right,
hey,
Low Voltage Nation, everyone. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Blake.
I'm involved in the industry because I want to make a paycheck. Who doesn't want to make a paycheck? That's how I got in the industry, like most people do. But now that I'm in the fall of my career, as Todd so eloquently pointed out, it made me feel, I'm trying to educate, encourage, and enrich the lives of young people, like the people in Low Voltage Nation. So I started BICSI 2020. I noticed there's a bunch of old people at BICSI, like you. And so I was like, we need to do something to change that. So I started doing the YouTube and the podcast channel, Let's Talk Cabling, so that way people can get free education and get them mentored up to speed.
Very popular web series. You do some webcasts, I guess, or no, podcast. They call them podcasts. Right?
But no, it depends. So podcasts.
I wear those.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I can tell. So podcasts are audio, right? Then you got vlogs, right, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then TikTok. Thank you, Blake, for turning me on to TikTok.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there on TikTok, a lot of fiber guys, copper guys.
Okay.
If you want to reach the young, you got to get to where the young are.
Right.
So that's exactly what I'm doing.
How do people get a hold of you? Where do they go? Where do they sign up? So forth and whatnot. Get yourself a plug here.
Let'sTalkCabling.com. That's simple.
Foremost, how is the skills challenge going?
It's going off smoothly.
All right.
We have 2 more heats left.
Okay.
We'll be wrapping up about 6:30 tonight.
Okay.
Once the judges are done closing up shop, we're going to go get some food to eat because they've been working hard for 2 days. We're going to go upstairs and lock ourselves in a room. We got 140 score sheets to go through.
Jeez.
All the competitors. And probably somewhere around 11 o'clock tonight, we should have a tally and know who the installer of the year is going to be.
All right. So the 3 gentlemen that I interviewed are actually on the show today. And Kate, if you bring these gentlemen, I say that loosely, if you bring them on board. There's Blake, there's Mr. David, and there's Chuck. Gentlemen, how are you this morning?
Doing fantastic.
Doing great.
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Great. I hope everybody saw those clips. I know David, I saw you in the private chat, and anyway, so I hope that turned out well for everybody else. And David, if you'd upgrade beyond dial-up, maybe you'd be able to see those videos. So anyway, so my takeaway of BICSI, and I've been going to BICSI for, good God, since 96 in one form or fashion, either as a contractor, as a manufacturer rep, as just somebody looking for a free meal. So it's changed over the years. I know that I went there. The big reason is to interview you gentlemen, and brother was a big part of the cabling skills challenge, and I'm going to have David talk about that in a little bit. I was pleasantly surprised at actually a little more attendance than I thought there would be, and pleasantly surprised in the fact that our virtual booth it wasn't that bad. We had 70 plus people come by the virtual booth, so you know what, it wasn't that bad. So I think people are starting to acclimate, big word, catch that one, Kate, acclimate to this kind of dual type of show, if you will. And so anyway, I had a great time at BICSI. David, you got a lot to do at BICSI. We're going to let you talk about that here in a few minutes, but I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner with Marsha Brady, Chuck. And anyway, Chuck, you know what? Give us your takeaways about that, about the whole experience out there. The floor is yours for a couple of minutes, man.
I concur. I mean, I've been going to BICSI conferences since 1999, 2000. And I remember the days, I was telling Blake this as we were there, because he asked me, how was this compared to other ones? I remember the times where you couldn't even walk down the aisles without bumping shoulder to shoulder with people. And so I was kind of wasn't really expecting that. I was really expecting like nobody, but there was actually a good amount of people there. And I think it was, and the thing I liked about it is because it was my first real conference after the whole COVID thing. I started seeing a bunch of people and I got business cards galore and started talking to people. And I realized, oh man, I missed the first 15 minutes of that seminar I wanted to see. Well, now I can go back and watch that seminar. Right. And I really like that portion. And you got to admit, I kind of missed wearing, my wife, she calls this my general thing, because I got all the stuff wearing. I was like, yeah, that's BICSI. She goes, does all the other people have as many as you, or do they just feel bad when they look at yours? I'm like, I don't know.
It means you're an old show off. All that means, really, it really shows your age. And so, yeah, we're still in, I guess, the COVID times. They told me not to say COVID, but you said COVID first. So, it is what it is, but we're still in that pandemic thing. And I hope, the best for everybody. But again, I'm with you where I was pleasantly surprised to see not only a bunch of the old folks on here, right, but some new faces as well. So Blake, I'm going to ask you a little bit about this. One of the things that I love about BICSI is the opportunity to walk around when I'm not selling and see all the new stuff out there, right? That to me is huge. And I know everybody on this call today, David, you in particular, and, you've got some great new stuff that you and I discussed on the show, but it's really great to see some of the new technology out there making technicians' lives a lot easier. So, Blake, you see it firsthand in your webcast and podcast and whatever casting you're doing out there. You're always talking about, the new stuff. And so, Blake, a couple of minutes on your take of BICSI. And number two is, talk about maybe some of the things that stuck out.
Yeah. So it was my first BICSI show, so I didn't know what to expect.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had no idea. It was like jumping in the deep end. I had a booth. I was the first time there, and then I did a keynote on Wednesday. So it's just like, well, what do I expect? And I had a great time. It was just I met all these people that I've interviewed on the podcast. I met Chuck for the first time in person, met David for the first time, met you for the first time. So I don't know these people, like what they look like and how tall they are. So it was just like it was a lot to take in off the for the first time. So who's waving hi? Who is that?
I am, because there was a gentleman who sent me an email. I mean, this guy must really want to get on the show, but he sent me an email saying, I'm not able to join the link below per your email. I don't even know what the hell I put in my email, but I just got a message. He said hi, so I'm just waving back to him, and that's all. So, Blake, yeah. Oh, hi, everybody. As far as, I missed your keynote, and congratulations on that. All right, that's huge. That really is huge.
Yeah, I was very humbled.
You were in the section for the kind of, the trending what's new, right?
Yeah, first time exhibitor, right by the Cabling Skills Challenge. It was strategically kind of placed. I chose that one because I wanted to be like in the action, because I had heard about the Cabling Skills Challenge. I had interviewed David Richards, and so I wanted to kind of get like that in the background and do some kind of podcast from the booth. So yeah, it was interesting.
Well, I told Blake earlier, we all, before the show, folks, just to let you know, we all get on the show and we just BS, really. And in that sense, we really BS on the show. And so, I told Blake, I said, I didn't realize you had a booth there. And that's because, Blake, you weren't near the little food court, which, I'm always hanging out at with all those lovely fried foods. So, in fact, that's the other takeaway I'm going to tell you guys, is that I was real proud of myself when I lost, 25, 26 pounds before BICSI, and I gained another 6 or 7. So that is definitely a takeaway that I brought back with me from Orlando is some of that BICSI food. So, David, I want to pick your brain for a second, because you kind of had a dual role, if you will, at BICSI, multitasking, if you will. You're number one, you're involved with BICSI, Number 2 is you kind of got a trifecta here. Number 2 is that you're running the Cabling Skills Challenge. And then number 3 is you work for Chancellor CPI, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So
Yeah.
first and foremost, let's pick those off. All right. Let's start with your involvement with BICSI. All right. So from your take, and you can't really base it on BICSI's of yore, where Chuck was talking about where it was, elbow to, I can't say it, but you know what I wanted to say, right? But he's right. It was, just Vegas and Orlando and everything else. You go back to those days, Dave, as do I and Chuck. And I said that, I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of people, but from your perspective, from the BICSI perspective, what was your overall takeaway on the show?
Well, like you said, it was well attended, a lot more than we had anticipated. I know we had last count, it was over 3,000. If you add up all of the attendees, the virtual participants, as well as all the walk-ups that showed up on site. And by the way, Blake, your keynote was awesome. Enjoyed that. I've seen you and Lee.
Thank you.
And Betsy up there.
Yeah.
We had over 109 exhibitors, CPI definitely being one of them. We debuted our brand new booth. We had some product that was on display for the first time that had already been out for over a year, but there was no, exhibitions going on to show anything. So they made their first physical debut, even though we had already been selling them. So little shout out right here to ZetaFrame. It was great seeing the aisles full, just seeing the faces, seeing people just happy to be out and about, and looking forward to fall because I have a feeling it's just going to be even better.
Yeah, we'll talk about fall in just a minute. That's really right in my backyard. So from the CPI, you talked a little bit about that. I don't know if we have to really delve into that any deeper, but you were displaying as was brother, right? We got some pretty decent traffic. The good thing is a lot of the people coming up to our booth, a lot of them are saying, hey, we already use brother, which is great. But then, I can talk about, some of the new stuff, as far as the safety labeling and whatever. But we had some pretty good traction. And then again, from the virtual level, I know Mr. Birthday Bruce Cantori was running the virtual BICSI in the background, and I was very surprised when I got the attendee list from that. So from a manufacturer, me being obviously a brother and you being CPI, I was pretty happy. I was very pessimistic going into it. And then obviously that changed towards the end. So David, you would agree from a manufacturer side that it was a success.
Absolutely. I think everybody was reserved on what to expect, but pleasantly surprised when they showed up and see the number of people that were there. Okay,
great. Now, Cabling Skills Challenge, very near and dear to my heart because brother is heavily involved in that.
With yes, the labeling. They are.
All right.
We appreciate that.
No. We appreciate you. We could do these niceties forever. I love it. Brother's very involved in that. David runs the Cabling Skills Challenge. I happened to go over there a couple of times, and you know what? It brought back old days when I actually used to do that stuff for a living. And yes, folks, I did that. I used to do exactly that. Not very well. That's why I'm selling the stickers now. But anyway, so that's near and dear to your heart, near and dear to my heart. Give folks out there, if you would, that maybe aren't familiar with the Skills Challenge, give them a little bit of overview of what it's about, and then let us know who won that thing, David.
All right. Oh, I'd love to. So the Cabling Skills Challenge is an annual event that we put on at the Winter Conference because that happens to be where the annual awards banquet is. And, we use that as the opportunity to not only crown a champion or what we call the Installer of the Year, but we announce it at the annual awards banquet. So it's become a staple and a tradition of BICSI. This year was our 14th annual one. Looking forward to next year because not only is it going to be the 15th annual, but it's going to be BICSI's 50th anniversary. So next year should be huge. We had 14 competitors from around the U.S. Unfortunately, we didn't have any international competitors this year because of travel restrictions, understandably. But we had a strong showing, and shout out to our 2022 BICSI Installer of the Year, Mr. Michael Ratliff of Blaze Communications out of Pensacola, Florida. Had a blast. Just so you know, I've actually handed the reins over to another committee member by the name of Jeff Endeman to oversee the skills challenge because of my involvement with the board of BICSI as well as my duties as a CPI employee. It's hard to be at two different booths at the same time when you're doing a conference and a competition at the same time. But
well,
yeah,
I use the same thing. And David, I think that I'm always telling my boss I'm overwhelmed. I got too much to do, and I just, so David, you just kind of basically backed up what I tell my boss all the time. So it's tough, all this multitasking.
You had quite a following around your booth. It was nice seeing those live web streams from not only yourself but also Low Voltage Nation over there.
Yeah.
Great attraction. Attendees loved it, and you could always tell when it was going on because you just see everybody kind of, go off to one side or the other. Brother was on one end of the exhibit hall, and Blake happened to be all the way on the other one, and so it was nice to see. I hope to see more of that in the future.
Well, it was nice to see some camaraderie too. First of all, I didn't think we were going to have much of an audience. Above and beyond the 3 or 4 people that watch us all the time. But it was good to see a live audience out there. The other thing that I love to see, right? So obviously, Brother has collaborations with every tester you see back here, every certification unit. And you know what? It was great to see everybody come in and interview, and the camaraderie. I know we're all competitors, right? In fact, I did see the Brady guy even lurking back there. So who knows? Maybe Brady will copy some other things I'm doing. But anyway, it was nice to see some camaraderie out there and everyone taking pictures together. And that's really the spirit of this whole business, guys. And especially us old farts like you in particular, Chuck. I'm going to pick on you and David. But it's really good to see people helping people. Whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're in, a competitor in the skills challenge, the common goal of seeing this industry march forward, kind of the one and done, get it done right the first time. Here's some new tools to help you get that done. And I know Chuck talks about these tools all the time. Blake talks about the tools I do. And then David actually is a manufacturer that supplies some of these tools to help everybody out there who can still physically young enough, unlike myself, to install this stuff though. So that's another takeaway that I got from this. So if you would, David, tell us about the upcoming, what's the next conference? Vegas, right?
So the next domestic U.S. conference is going to be in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. It's going to be September 25th through the 29th. And that's always attraction. And I know there's a lot of you out there that haven't had a chance to go to a conference in the last couple of years because of the endemic, in which case there's going to be a lot of RCDs need to get that final conference attendance and CECs. So fall conference is usually a good opportunity for that. So we expect a good showing.
Yeah, that's right around the corner, folks. Time flies. And so mark your calendars for that. Brother will be there. I'm sure CPI will be there. Blake, are you gonna attend that one?
Yeah, we're gonna have a small presence there for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to go.
Now, Chuck, that's a long flight, but are you gonna be able to make it out for that one? Or are you kind of?
I don't know if I'm going to make it for the conference. I may fly out and just go to the exhibit hall one night and then kind of fly home the next day. I don't know about attending the conference. That's too far out.
It's very far out. In fact, I was supposed to, at the end of this month, go do another show actually at the same location. And I just can't do the 5-hour flights anymore. I really can't. And, especially wearing the masks and all that other stuff. And so I gracefully bowed out of that one. But anyway, we're starting to see a lot more uptick in the shows. I know there's a lot of stuff planned for Brother in the near future as far as shows and conferences. In fact, Blake, I think there's a show coming near you for one of our new distribution partners, and I may or may not be involved in that, but we'll obviously reach out to you and extend an invitation one way or the other.
Yes,
to
please.
either get with myself or one of my counterparts out there as well. So, Chuck, anything closing, anything on your mind? Chuck, I want to, with that, as far as any closing comments, please let people know where they can watch more of you.
The easiest way is just to go to letstalkcabling.com. Then you can listen to all the audio podcasts and video stuff, but you can go to YouTube and find me. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just search Chuck Bowser RCDD or Let's Talk Cabling. And I think my favorite thing of the entire conference was that last picture, the BICSI boys picture that we took at the end of the conference.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I finally got to meet Lee. I finally got to meet Blake, Nolan, and stuff. We all kind of got together around the BICSI sign there and took a picture. The very last minutes of the conference. That was my favorite part of the whole entire conference.
Awesome.
Well, you know what? I guess I missed my invite. Thanks, boys.
Sorry.
Actually, I think I was already gone by then. So you know what? Anyway, no, I saw that picture. That was a great picture. Blake, same thing. So, any final thoughts on the whole experience, number one, and then let people know how to see more of you out there.
Yeah, I was buzzing after the conference and during the conference, and then hearing all of you guys that are obviously like veterans and have been to many of them. I'm buzzing again, so I'm excited to get to the next conference. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect, but I had a great time. Like it couldn't have gone better, in my opinion. So great meeting all the vendors that I've talked to. Great meeting all the people that I talked to. It was such a great experience. And the cabling skills challenge, like I had that idea, but David had it before me. So, but yeah, it was good. So yeah, to find Low Voltage Nation, just lowvoltagenation.com. That's all of our social stuff. Like Chuck, we're everywhere.
Great. Thank you very much. So, you know what I was thinking a minute ago of when we were doing that video shoot, and I think this gentleman, Mr. Message, I'm hammering your name there, Mr. Ma. I really am. I'm sorry. But I think that's a gentleman to where I was walking through and I think I was telling you guys about this. If not, it's a great little story. But anyway, I was walking through the conference and, for those who've never met me, and Blake, you talked about that, I'm 6'6" when I stand up straight. And the camera does put on at least 20 pounds. All right. But anyway, I'm walking through and I hear this voice coming down from like my waist level. And I turned and looked and there was a little gentleman, right? And, he says, "Is your name Todd?" And Tom Jallo, not an inch over 6'4". No, Tom, forget it. So anyway, he says, "Oh, is your name Todd?" And, I'm wearing my shirt that says Todd. And I said, no. You go see him over there at the booth. And, he's a big, ugly guy. And obviously, so anyway, he proceeds to tell me, he says, "You know what? I watch every show of yours." And he says, "I learned so much from you on those shows." And you know what? That was pretty cool. That was pretty damn cool. And so toward the end of it, before I brought Kate on, he was actually standing out there and I brought him in. And you can see on the end of the video when I'm interviewing this gentleman, and it's just, if I touched, as we all do, we touch people. Not that way, but we touch people as far as the industry, right? And it was good to see that we are having an impact. Obviously, Richard David with your cabling skills and your CPI and your involvement in BICSI, and Chuck with your Let's Talk Cabling and Low Voltage Nation. We're all touching lives out there in a very good way. And so that was very darn cool. So if you haven't seen that live, the full video, I even brought Kate on, and the infamous Kate who lurks in the background and yells at me on private chat. She even got on board, and I don't know what happened, but the audio cut. But the very beautiful Kate South is on the very end of that show. So please go out and watch that show. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very, very much, all right, for spending time with me again. I look forward to this happening in the future. All right, if you'll have me, and definitely I'll have you. So it's an open invitation here. So Chuck, thank you very much. Blake, thank you very much. David, thank you very much. I don't know why I keep calling you Richard, because I'm looking at a damn email from a guy named Richard Ozols right now. The mind's a terrible thing to waste. Anyway, David, thank you very much, guys. Have a blessed week, and hope to see you soon. And thank you for your support too. Appreciate you. So Kate's going to show us some contact information for everybody, if we have it. I don't know if we got to do that, but I think Kate's going to. Hey, there they are. There they are, right there. So for anything BICSI related, all right. Reach out to David. If he's not the man to answer the question, he can direct it to somebody who is. Chatsworth CPI products. There's the man. There's the man right there. So if you have any questions about CPI/Chatsworth products, and they have a bevy of them now, please reach out to David. Mr. Chuck Bowser. It was great meeting you for the first time. You're a lot shorter than I thought, but it is what it is. Let's Talk Cabling. There's his information right there. He's got a great show. He does some after-hours stuff, and when I get the opportunity, I always pop on to see him. Blake Urmos with Low Voltage Nation. It was great to meet you for the first time out there, Blake. I know we've been on each other's shows a couple of times in video conferences and stuff like that. But again, we're all here to enhance this industry, and hats off to here. Hats off, Kate, don't capture that picture. Hats off to everyone out there that is helping. Shout out to Mr. Tom Jallo. I see him, giving me crap in the background over there, as well as, Bruce always gives me crap. So anyway, Ask Todd Anything. It's always a favorite. And when I say Ask Todd Anything, that's our next show, March 3rd. And hey, I've been asked things about marital questions. Hey, I'm an expert. Financial questions, parenting. All right. I mean, Google Father of the Year. Watch what comes up. It's not me, but Google it anyway. Or anything industry related. So if you go to bswithtodd.com, all right, www.bswithtodd.com, there is an area where you can submit questions and literally ask me anything. Begrudgingly, I'm also going to ask a former member of the show to come back on, Mr. Jamie Brookover. I banned him from the show a while back, and out of all of the responses, I've been getting a ton of communications from all three of his fans out there. I think the last name is Brookover too, but I'm bringing Jamie back on for that episode too. So Jamie will answer the questions, or ask the questions, and I will answer those questions. So Jamie will be here on March 3rd as well. So March 31st, I got Mr. Sam, not my brother. I'll have him on the show sometime too. In fact, you know what, Sam? Well, you're out here. Maybe we should do a snippet of for BS with Todd. So anyway, Sam from Eaton is going to be on here, and Eaton's a real big company. But we're going to talk low voltage specific with Sam from Eaton. A new partner, actually, that we brought on board at BICSI. Net Ally is going to be here. And you can see I've got one of their units out there. The funny thing about Net Ally, it's not funny, it's fantastic, actually, is that I just went over and asked, hey, can you guys do this and that? And he brought up a software, and on their software, there were two brother apps sitting on a software. And so we are going hard and heavy in developing that relationship. I will have some PDFs printed up to show you exactly how this stuff works. So I'm looking forward to Net Ally as well, coming up on the 14th. As far as contacting myself, oh, wait, subscribe, go to YouTube, take your camera, shoot the screen, all right? I want to thank all the tens of people that have subscribed to YouTube. And again, I'm just a little out of date with all this stuff. Instacart, Instagram, this and that. But anyway, We're pushing more of our stuff and our content on YouTube. So if you get a chance, scan it, scan the QR code. That'll take you to sign up. That'd be much appreciated. So anyway, as far as how to contact the team, so I'm out here on the West Coast. We got Mr. Jamie Brookover out of Virginia Beach. Mr. Dan Cobb out of Wisconsin. Mr. Bruce Cantori, right? Did I say that Cantori right, Bruce? He's out of Marblehead, Massachusetts. Happy birthday again, you old goat. 55, man. That, you know what? That's going to be tough. Mr. Rob Dawkins out of North Carolina. And our glorious leader, Mr. Craig Robinson, who hails out of Sarasota, Bradenton area in Florida. So with that being said, it's 10:34. I'm 4 minutes over. Sam, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Tom, for coming on board. Thanks, Mr. Ma, for coming on board. I appreciate everyone's support out there. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, or if you need some bad advice, all right, reach out to me anytime. So God bless you all. Please stay safe. And I'll see you on the QR code. Now, wait a minute. The QR code, Richard says the QR code doesn't work. Richard, Todd.Morse@brother.com. Send me an email, my friend. If anybody else out there, if that QR code doesn't work, Todd.Morse@brother.com, and I'll make sure that I send you the right link. Or click subscribe to Kate is saying click subscribe to the channel. He's watching it. Oh, you're watching it, right? So anybody watching it, just hit the subscribe button, I guess. Hell, I don't know how this stuff works, but send me an email anyway. If you can't figure it out, chances are I can't figure it out either. We'll get somebody that can for you. So, all right, Ricardo, you're welcome very much. Anyway, hey, that's all I got, man. We're 10:36. I'm on overtime right now. Thanks for everybody sticking around. Have a great day. And we'll see you March 3rd. Bye.